Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, all throughout the 2024 election, all on the Republican campaign trail, they preached about being America first, about focusing on American problems and pulling us out of all these foreign wars that we're in. They said they wanted to stop funding the Ukraine defense effort. They want to pull us out of NATO because the European countries don't pay their dues and we're just their world police. A lot of his supporters seem to believe that too. That Trump would lead the nation into a time of peace and prosperity, that he wouldn't get us involved in any foreign wars or try and put America into any actual military incursions. But like you may have guessed, we have to hand out another Fell For It Again award for every Trump supporter and every Trump voter, because for the last week or so, Trump and every single right wing Republican talking head has just been going insane with talks about expanding America out. There's been talks about using the military to take back the Panama Canal, to take over Greenland, which actually does belong to Denmark, and would be a violation of Article 5, which it would be insane if we started World War III because of Greenland instead of, ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. But I digress. We've got dweebs like Ben Shapiro saying elections have consequences, calling Greenland Trumpland, referring to the Atlantic Ocean as the anti European moat. And this Gulf of America stuff is pretty crazy. Trump's been on stage recently talking about putting forth legislation to officially change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which is just silly. I don't see how that's going to affect the price of groceries or drop the price of eggs. That's what he campaigned on a lot. That's what Republicans were supposed to be doing in office, right? But we can move on from that. It's not just Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire. Fox News is taking the reins on this as well, explicitly invoking the word imperialism in his little rant. You don't have to take my word for it. We can watch it together now.
Canada. At first I wanted it, and I tried to divide it into two states. And then I realized we'd be adding Montana, basically, for the Republicans, and electorally like a Texas for the Democrats. And I don't like that. But the fact that they don't want us to take them over makes me want to invade. I want to quench my imperialist thirst.
You can say this is jokes as much as you want, but that's how this stuff starts. You start to believe this is acceptable because it's a joke that you can tell on the news, until you get people who are actually in office talking about using economic and military force to invade our neighbors. Which again, they are saying this. You can listen to Trump yourself talk about his plans for Canada.
Mr. President, if we were to work under the assumption that you're serious about making Canada the 51st state of the United States, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said, under no circumstance will it ever be the 51st state.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't care.
You had suggested that
Listen, I don't care what he says.
But Sir Lopez, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it.
Whether it's him fielding questions from reporters or posting on his brand name social media, I think we should take this stuff serious. Virtually all of his supporters, and for sure all the ones who wear the merchandise and fly the flags, constantly downplay the stuff he says, tell you to not take it seriously, will say that he's just riling up the media because he doesn't take the media serious, but he's about to be president in 2 weeks, and the stuff he says is going to have ramifications. And I think it's up to all of us to take this stuff serious. But it's not like we really have much choice in the matter, right? We're all in this boat together, and now we all have to deal with the consequences of this last election. The next 4 years are going to be incredible, to say the least. The deeper threat with this Greenland stuff that I don't think a lot of his Republican constituents are taking serious is this is going to push the European people away from the United States. We should be trying to form a stronger bond with really any nation that will have us, but the only other choice that those folks have as far as a world superpower to stand behind with is going to be China or Russia. Most certainly it won't be the United States. If you have someone who's leading a nation who is talking about using military force to take your territory, I can imagine that's going to breed some resentment, some animosity that could otherwise be avoided. But we've got 2 weeks before this show really gets on the road, and I guess until then, until we really start seeing the ramifications of this Trump administration, y'all try to have a good day.